Hello and welcome back to the Homie Chat podcast. This is Bergnut speaking along with my very beautiful co-host.
Goose, as you know. If you don't
Yes.
know that by this point, then you obviously either came in late or you just were not paying attention.
Listen, most of our audience are like 65 plus and have dementia, okay? We have to remind them every time.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we have to remind them every 30 minutes.
Hmm.
Like, wait, who am I listening to? Is this the doctor? Oh, it's Nut and Goose, my favorite fellas, my imaginary friends. You know,
Yeah, they just hear voices going off. They forget to put the podcast on. They're like, "What am I hearing? Oh my God, I'm haunted."
if there's any old people in the audience who watch us and, we're their only sense of
I
humanity, I feel bad for you.
I really doubt that, but if there are, I am so sorry.
You know what? It's possible. Let's just pretend it's real.
Hmm.
Exactly. Just like how I pretend we have an audience.
Hmm. And I pretend like I enjoy doing this.
Exactly. Same here. This is torture. Free me from my eternal suffering.
Hmm.
Anyways, Mr. Goose, how's life been going for you? Everything all good?
Yeah, it's going pretty good. College started back up again, new semester. COVID outbreaks cause us to be online, so I'm currently at my home. Um,
I asked the
being
Omicron
unproductive,
variant.
yes, being an unproductive member of society, like always.
Ah, welcome to the club.
Not
Uh,
using my free time correctly, not making new videos because I keep forgetting, and just playing a bunch of Fallout 4 with 200 plus sex mods installed. So,
very based, I must say.
life is
Uh,
good.
yeah. Same here. I'm pretty unproductive. I've just been playing video games and sitting there going like, "Oh yeah, I'm working on a new video. Yeah, I'm working on a new video." Not.
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean, I did just get one out earlier this month, so I guess I can wait a bit before a new one comes out. But I guess just keep. I'll keep everybody posted. Uh,
Hmm.
but other than
So,
that, oh sorry, what were you about to say?
go ahead, go ahead.
All right, we do this so often.
Hmm.
Um, I was thinking of maybe making this episode about retail stories or work stories in general. I should have mentioned that beforehand. I apologize for not doing so.
No,
But
it's
I
alright.
I just remembered that I like all month I was like, oh man, this episode should be about that. Like while I was at work, I was thinking about that because I do think about this podcast pretty often because I like doing it and I want
Hmm.
to do other stuff with it. So, do you have any interesting work stories you'd like to share with the class, Mister Goose?
Uh, hmm. Well, as you know, I haven't really worked at too many places to be honest, so I don't really have a lot of cumulative uh pieces that I have stored in my memory that I could share. However, before I do bring up probably the one or two stories that I might have possibly sort of not made up on the spot, I gotta ask you, what is up with your fascination in posting yourself with the new security breach animatronics? I've noticed that like every day you're posting yourself with those animatronics. What is up with that? I gotta know.
Um, my lawyer has told me to not answer that question. Uh,
Mm.
oh yeah, I
Plead the
started
fifth.
this. There's this kind of meme in my Discord community where they like I took a picture of me with
Mm.
my arm outstretched, and they've just been photoshopping me on various different characters.
Mm.
I made two of them be FNAF characters, I believe. I did like Glamrock Freddy, that was the first one I did, and then I did Toy Bonnie, which those are the two FNAF characters I simp the most. I'm not going to elaborate further, and no, I did
Mhm.
not buy a Glamrock Freddy body pillow for $85 on Etsy. What are you talking about?
It's just a normal pillow, but like really shittily drawn on with like Sharpie.
But
Just
but yeah, I actually did buy a Glamrock Freddy waifu pillow. It comes
oh
in a
dear
month.
Lord.
I've become
He comes in a month.
yeah, apparently. It's like a pre-order
Is
kind
it
of
made
thing.
with like? Is
It's
it
made
made
with
with like
the finest
holy fiber? It's made from the Pope's robe.
yeah, basically. um but yeah, I don't know actually I do know why I bought it. I think it'd make a really good background gag like in my videos. Maybe it'll
Mhm.
be on my chair. Like so if I ever get up out of
So
my chair
like,
in a video, you'll see it.
so it's like Schlatt with the Pope or Russian Badger with the dinosaur or
Something
whatever
like
he
that.
has.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's
But
just
also the other reason
background
I bought
gag
it
to draw the eye.
yeah. And the other
Mhm.
reason I bought it, I am not going to go into detail. My lawyer has told me not
I,
to.
we don't need detail, please.
Yes,
Don't.
yes, we don't. Wait, not that far. It's
Anyways,
it's not that far. It's just like I want to hug it. That's all.
Yeah, right, you sick bastard. We
Aw,
all know you're
damn it.
gonna cut a hole in the back of it.
My lawyer has told me to stop talking about this topic. Let me read the cue cards. Uh,
Mhm.
so you mentioned you had one or two possible work stories before you started
Uh,
chastising me for simping robots.
yeah, 'cause that's fucking weird, weirdo.
Damn it, you got me there.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am kink shaming you.
Uh,
Anyways, um, hmm, it's kind of hard because I try to block out all the stories I have of my previous job as much as I can.
mm-hmm.
Um,
Where
as
did
one
where
does.
did you work though?
Well, as much as thoughts about my old job, I try to block out from my memory as much as I can. Um, I worked at essentially think of a bootleg Dave and Buster's. And you already know this, but I'm sure our viewers don't. And if they do, stop stalking me, please, for the love of God. And essentially, I was a host there, and my job was to handle everybody else's bullshit. Yeah, basically, that was the entire job. Um, Deal with annoying ass customers with really dumb questions,
Mm-hmm.
and all the jobs that my other people didn't want to take care of or management wanted done, but didn't really care to like assign someone who's actually getting paid to do that job
They
to
just throw
do it.
you in there.
Yeah, I
Throw,
had to do it.
throw the goose in the field. He'll handle it.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and the thing is, I was pretty much the only male host there, except for another guy who's actually really cool, chill dude, and then two other guys who were friends. And one guy I think didn't even last a month, and he got fired for talking to people off shift. Yeah, it's
Bruh.
pretty nuts. I don't
Like
know
talking
why.
as in like was he
Yeah,
being
like hanging out with people
flirtatious?
off shift. No, no, no,
Oh,
no.
right.
Um,
Like
no,
like
no,
while he
no.
was supposed to be working, he was hanging out with people or something.
Yeah.
What?
You know, I am the flirtatious one, James. You know, I really put the moves on the people.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. Grooming the bowlers.
yeah, yeah. Call me Carson, because I love grooming. I'm just kidding. Um, whatever happened to him after the whole
He's back.
debacle?
He streams now.
Okay, he's back from prison.
He never went to prison.
Oh, oh, I thought he did.
No,
Anyways,
that was a rumor at one point, but no, it was
okay.
kind of bullshit. I think that whole
Mm,
situation was kind of bullshit. Um,
mm,
I do have a few work stories here and there. Some of them are a little personal, but luckily I have a lot of ones that just have to do with
mm,
customers being
mm,
stupid as hell. Most of them coming from my most recent job, Walmart. We all know
mm,
Walmart is like a very great place to work. It's a very great place to shop too. You
mm.
get
If
special
you're poor.
surprises. Like you walk down the chip aisle and you'll see a bunch of shit on the floor. Like that's special surprise. You won't see
Wait,
that at
you're
Target.
telling me you're telling me there's actual shit on the floor? People go into your store and shit on the floor?
Well, that's an exaggeration, of course. That's just kind of the stereotype of Walmart because it is a sloppily held together place.
Oh yeah, that
I
place
wouldn't
is
say
always
shit
in
on the
shambles.
floor, but like there's definitely like you'll see throw up every once in a while. Like stuff knocked on the floors because the janitors are very slow. I'm not okay. I don't want to diss the janitors. They do a good job. It's just they don't. We don't have enough janitors. They're on the other side of the building cleaning up something else. You
Just
know.
throw up on the floor. That's fucking nasty.
I don't really see it much. I've
Ew,
seen it
that's yucky.
sometimes. Or
Um,
like how old people will just accidentally knock over glass jars of pickles or salsa all the time. One of my biggest
um,
pet peeves is when I'm working at register and they pay cash, and like I got
mhm.
to give them their change, and
Oh yeah, you gotta
I'll
count it
clearly
out.
put the coins in the hand, like right on
Mhm.
top of the dollars and the receipt. I hand it to them. They just like yank it away like it's just dollars, and then the coins fly everywhere, and they go like, "Oh my goodness! Like you saw
Mhm.
me put the coins on there.
Yeah, it's like confetti. It's like whoa, it's like the party poppers where you pull them and
Congratulations,
they
purchase
shoot
complete."
confetti. Yeah, it's a celebration. They want to make it hail. Um,
Exactly.
they want to show you how much money they got in their dimes and pennies.
They're flexing to the other customers
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah,
subconsciously.
yeah. I got $20. What about it, pussy? Huh? I got enough to buy a pair of jeans here. If you go clothes shopping at Walmart, like what are you doing with your life? Those are
Well,
the people that go. There are people who grocery shop at Walgreens. That is disgusting.
dude, you'll catch like three different kinds of like African flu if you shop at Walgreens.
Hmm.
I swear to God.
I'll
But
go into Walgreens every so often to maybe pick up like one or two things,
mhm.
but I'm not going there to pick up my daily supply of food or weekly supply of food.
Yeah, basically,
Right?
that's right.
I could
Um,
go out to the dumpster. I can go into the dumpster outside of the Walgreens, the stinky, yucky dumpster, and find better things in there.
you're correct on that one, because the thing is, Walmart is sloppy, but like they're nowhere
Oh,
near as bad as some other stores. Like I'd say Walmart is the sloppiest out of the big name brand stores. But
it's
then
oh, dude,
when you get into the lower tier, that's where things get real bad.
that place is held together by toothpicks and earwax. Like you remember the SpongeBob episode where they put together the whole island resort out of like popsicle sticks for Squidward?
I don't recall that one. Is that one of the newer ones?
No, really.
I don't. I
It's an
haven't watched
old
SpongeBob in a
episode.
little while, so
Oh,
the internet may
that's a
crucify me
shame.
for that. But
Anyways, Cliff Notes version. I'll give you the Cliff Notes here.
okay.
There's a episode where Squidward is, I think, stressed or something like that.
Hmm.
So SpongeBob and Patrick decide to make him a whole island resort called Squidward's Tiki Land.
Ah, Epstein's
And
Island.
yeah, and they make the whole thing and it looks amazing, except at the end it ends up falling apart and Squidward realizes it's all fake and he has like a existential crisis or whatever. And SpongeBob says to Patrick, we should have built this thing out of glue and not earwax.
But
And essentially, I'm saying that Walmart is like Squidward's Tiki Land. It's held together by popsicle sticks and earwax. So it's
basically,
eventually all gonna fall apart.
it's a miracle it looks so clean on like a surface
Hmm.
level. It's when you
Hmm.
get into the aisles when you notice the problems.
Yeah, if you drive past it at around like 50 miles an hour on the highway and you glance over, because you accidentally overshot your rearview mirror, yeah, then it looks clean. But
Oh
once you
yeah,
step like 20 feet within the building, you're like, this place looks like it's been abandoned for 10 years.
like it. I don't know what the aesthetic they're trying to go for is. Like when you go into a Target, it looks like a
Industrial nightmare.
clean like Target looks like this clean, smooth red and white uh
Hmm.
convenience place. Really, it's like a mega oversized convenience store.
But not as smooth as IKEA.
That's
Or
true. I haven't been to
IKEA
IKEA
just
much, but when I
flows.
have, it's been like a treat to the eyeballs.
Mm.
But Walmart, it just looks like they found some random drug warehouse, put through some shelves in it, and
Hmm.
some admittedly good-looking signs, and that's about it.
Yeah, it looks like if you remember Modern Warfare, what's the one? Kill House or whatever? The one
I
little
I never
tiny
played
ass
Modern
map.
Warfare. I was a Black Ops kid.
Modern Warfare 2? You don't
I never
remember that?
played that. I never played that.
Really? You don't remember ever doing that in high school? Or did you just play Halo?
Oh, I did play Modern Warfare 2. Yeah, we pirated it on the school computers.
Yeah.
Yes. I
Yeah,
don't.
why buy it when you can just pirate it? Anyways,
We don't
there's an
endorse
old
piracy on the homie chat. We don't do that.
you buy
Unless it's
Adobe
Adobe.
products.
Unless it's Adobe.
Yeah, you buy Adobe products. You actually pay for WinRAR.
Simp. Oh,
Um,
for RAR files, I just use 7-zip. No problem.
oh, for Win, I just use WinRAR and I never pay for it, and they don't care. It's like,
I just use
would you like to?
7-zip to extract RAR files. It's that easy.
It's like,
It's
would you
that
like to
easy.
buy? Would you like to buy WinRAR today? Nope. Understandable. Have a good day. Like seriously, they don't care, and it's honestly a really good business model because then that means more people will use WinRAR
Yeah. And like the people who
because
want
you
to
don't have to pay
support
for
them
it.
will support them.
Yeah.
Like it makes you come off as non-aggressive.
Hmm. Anyways, what was it?
Walmart. We were talking
Oh
about
yeah.
how shitty
So
Walmart is. Like if it weren't for
there's
those
an
nice
old.
looking signs, Walmart would look like a one of those like subliminal space images.
Oh yeah, it looks like the fucking back rooms.
Yeah, like without
Back
those
rooms.
nice looking signs and the branding, it would just look, ugh, unsettling. It would look like I've been kidnapped and I've been put into a simulation.
Yeah, like some ransom drug warehouse.
Oh my God! Speaking of Walmart and
Yeah, here it is. Okay, so there's a Modern Warfare map called Kill House. I think it was called Shoot House back in the day, or no, it's not Shoot House.
I'll be sure to put on some images in the post.
It was called something. Yeah, Shoot House, or Kill House. I mean, sorry. And it's this tiny ass map with two huts at each end, a tower in the middle, and like two other little areas. It's this 3-lane map, which is very common
Hmm.
for Call of Duty, but it's been in pretty much every single Modern Warfare map. And that map was yucky. Okay, you got people sniping, you got people running around with a shotgun, you got just the most cancer, uh, just the most cancer setups. Now, granted, it's not as bad as Nuketown is. Nuketown was worse, especially the newer versions of Nuketown or Shipment, Oh God, shipment
Nuketown
was
is like a
terrible.
nostalgia trip, though. Ooh.
Yeah, except it's in every single Treyarch game, so it's just kind of getting watered down at this point.
I
Um,
think it was kind of lame how they were making it look futuristic. Like, just make it bigger or make it look better or something. I don't care about
mhm.
this future shit. The only cool
Yeah,
thing
that
about the
was in like
future
that
one
was
is
in
if
like
you,
Black Ops 3 and 4 where they started going like futuristic, and
yeah,
that looked terrible.
I believe in like Black Ops 3, if you shot off all the mannequin heads within the first like 30 seconds, they would like turn into like the weeping angels from Doctor Who, and if you looked at them, they'd stay still, and if you look away, they start chasing you. It was pretty
I don't
neat.
remember that.
It
I don't
was it was
remember
like an
that, but
Easter egg. If you and all your buddies like coordinated and shot all the mannequins' head off real quick, they would like come back, but like they do this thing where they would chase you if you weren't looking.
mm, I
Pretty creepy.
remember. I know in Cold War there's a Easter egg where if you shoot off all the mannequin heads, it's been an Easter egg in I think every Black
Yeah, I think
Ops
it does. I think it does
Nuketown.
something different in every one.
Yeah, it turns the game into like a synthwave looking thing,
Hmm.
but I'm not sure if it lasts the entire game or if it only lasts for the time that you're alive at the beginning of the game, and if you
Yeah.
die, it goes back to normal.
I believe if you shoot off all the heads in Black Ops 1 or 2, it's one of them. It'll let you play Pitfall, which is one of Activision's first games.
Yeah,
You know what
they have that
Pitfall
in.
is, right?
Yeah, I know what Pitfall is. Um, there's actually a arcade in Cold War, where you can play all a bunch of old Treyarch games. Like you can play Pitfall,
You mean
you could
Activision?
play Derby, like Derby Racer, a bunch of other ones.
Yeah,
Like it's a
the
whole ass
Atari and all
arcade.
that.
Yeah,
Oh
all
yeah,
these
back
other
when
games.
Activision wasn't sexually harassing their employees.
That was Blizzard,
Oh wait, Blue,
which is an Activision branch, but still,
still
you
bad.
can't blame you can't blame Treyarch for the things that act. Or I don't think Treyarch is an Activision company, is
I'm
it?
not sure.
I don't remember.
I don't really play much Call of Duty anymore, so I wouldn't know. I will mainly just go back to Black Ops 2 once in a while on the PS3 and very very we're not here to talk
Oh,
about that. We were talking about fucking Walmart and then that led to Call of Duty. I caught
um,
caught myself before we went down a rabbit hole.
speaking of which, what was it? Uh, oh, did you hear that Microsoft bought Activision for $69 billion?
That's both impressive and I'm also a bit concerned. Let me tell you
Mm.
why I'm concerned.
A lot of people are concerned, but I
I,
doubt that Call of Duty is gonna move to Xbox only or like
yeah, that'd be
become
ridiculous.
become like console only or something or PC shit. Like
Yeah,
I doubt they're gonna do something like that
because I mean,
too.
there have been plenty of Xbox games that released on PlayStation and plenty of PlayStation games that released on Xbox. So not a lot of PlayStation games, like mainly just
Like
MLB The Show, which was a PlayStation exclusive for years. That's on
like
Xbox now.
Cuphead recently
Oh yeah,
came
that's true.
to PlayStation.
Yeah, it's funny because PlayStation Studios actually makes MLB The Show, and so if you play it on the Xbox, the first thing you see is PlayStation Studios on an Xbox game. Like, you see that logo, which is hilarious.
That's funny.
But yeah, I hope that Microsoft doesn't buy any more huge companies like this. I mean,
Oh
if
yeah,
if-
there's
I mean if they buy
actually
more indies, I'm cool with that because you're giving indies more funding. But like, if they buy any more big studios like this, I feel like PlayStation is just gonna like have not as many games anymore, and like, even if PlayStation sells more, Xbox will still have like a monopoly.
mhm.
Like right now,
And
PlayStation
yeah,
has
that's
always
what I was
outsold
gonna say. I think
Xbox in every generation
yeah, because
historically.
it's just no offense, but it's better. All right, I'm not gonna get into the console wars, but it just is.
They
But
they they're
anyways,
better at marketing, and their
mhm.
consoles are
And
slightly more
they
powerful.
they get more exclusives and everything
Yeah,
too.
that's just a fact.
So
I do like the
and
Xbox. I don't have any problem against the Xbox. It's just,
mhm.
and if on a factual sense, the PlayStation has historically gotten more exclusives. Although Xbox, I will
and
admit, has been stepping up their game lately.
and plus Xbox kind of incentivizes getting Game Pass. You ever notice that? Like, there's not a bunch of Xbox games that are coming out that you're like, oh yeah, I want to get the disc or I want to buy it off the store and play it. It's like, oh, I want to play old games off the Game Pass because not enough new games are coming out to actually make the new Xbox worth getting over the PlayStation. PlayStation came out of came out with the new generation running. Like they came in slapping meat. Or they were swinging dick when they first came out. Okay? They came out with Demon Souls, they came out with like they're coming out with the
Ratchet
new
and Clank.
Horizon, new God of War's coming out. Like oh yeah, by the way, God of War's on Steam now, in case you people didn't know.
Oh yes, it's.
Um
I might get
but
it at one
they
point.
but PlayStation is coming out slapping with new games. Xbox, what did we have? I think Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and that's it. And
They
even
also
then, that game.
they have Halo Infinite,
Oh,
Forza.
Halo. Yeah, but Halo you can play on the PC, and
Well,
most
all of
people
Xbox exclusives come to
are
PC.
on
That's the
PC.
thing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but there's a lot of problems with Halo Infinite. All of the cosmetics are super high priced for whatever reason, and they're not even that good.
Except
Um,
for the cat ears, those are epic.
yeah, but that's about it. And still, like what, like $15 for those? And
True.
then something about like the story being separate from the multiplayer, which I think is actually a good idea because that means people can play Halo Infinite multiplayer
Yeah.
and not have
It
the
is
main
a fun time.
campaign.
I've actually dabbled a few rounds in Halo Infinite multiplayer,
Mhm.
and it's reasonably fun.
Yeah, supposedly there's issues with like people getting banned just for getting like suiciding too much, like actually getting banned, not just kicked from the match.
It's just like,
There's people,
sorry, I'm bad
there's
at the
like,
game.
yeah, and then there's some people that are like, I think there's server issues or something with it. I don't know if that one's true. I might be incorrect. I probably am.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's just Xbox is just not doing much. All of their good stuff is on the Game Pass, which means that's where they're getting most of their money.
Yeah.
Xbox is not getting most of their money from console sales or game sales off of their store. No, no, no. They're getting most of their revenue from Game Pass because they're putting all of their games into Game Pass.
And
I
Game
mean, I
Pass is a
understand
neat service,
it's a
though.
really good deal. I mean, for all the games you get for only what, like $15 a month, and I
Yeah,
think
that's
recently it was
nuts.
only yeah, recently it was $1 for 3 months.
Oh, it must have been some kind of special promotion.
Yeah. And
That's
so that's
fucking
really,
nuts.
really good. So it makes sense that they would be getting most of the revenue for what, like hundreds of games for only $15 a month, not from actual games being sold. But if most of your revenue is coming from a service, that's not great. Okay, PlayStation's revenue isn't coming from PS Now. A lot of people don't use PS Now, and if they do, well, then I probably then I didn't know.
Most
All
people
right,
who use
I'll
PS
admit,
Now just use it so they can play Bloodborne on PC with it.
yeah.
Because that
Or
is, but you have to have a PS controller for that.
mhm.
Excuse me. Flooding in
So
my throat.
most of PlayStation's revenue is coming from games being sold,
Yeah.
or DLC being sold, or cosmetics from like Cold War and stuff, or Call of Duty or other games. PlayStation, it's the exact opposite, and that's why more people want a PlayStation 5, like me, uh, or I have one, but not to brag or anything. I'm
How
not like
did you get
I'm
lucky enough to snatch one of those?
uh so I showed interest in wanting a PS5 when they first came out. So Sony sent me an email saying, now I'm not sure if Sony's gonna come knocking at my door and be like, "Hey, you're not allowed to say this." Um, but I definitely wasn't the only person. But since I showed interest in the console, they said, "Hey, we're having a restock. If you want a console, click this link. You'll be signed up for it, and then when the new consoles drop, you will get this link." And I think they said, "Do not open the link early. Do not open the link, close it, and then try and reopen it or whatever,
Hmm.
because then you'll
It's like
lose
a one-time
access."
thing.
Yeah, it was a one-time thing. So I clicked that shit, put in my card information, spent $600 on the console and an extra controller. Sure, it pissed my parents off, but that was probably going to be the one chance I got this last year and maybe even this year to get a console, and I did.
Yeah.
And it was honestly worth it. Sure, I lost $600, but it was hella worth it. I got this big ass sexy Wi-Fi router sitting right next to me. So,
I imagine it was
and
worth it. The
it
PS5
is.
does seem cool. Although
It
personally,
is.
I'm just trying to wait for like until I cannot talk. I'm trying to wait until I get the opportunity to get a new graphics card.
You
'Cause
have any
I've
storage?
become a PC degenerate in recent times because it's just so
Mm-hmm.
convenient for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like on
Mm-hmm.
the same device, I can edit my videos, I can play
Yeah.
some games, and I can I don't know, look at artwork of FNAF characters. Yeah.
Yeah. And recently I got a PC too, so that's hella nice.
Oh yeah.
I can play games now. I play Fallout 4 ultra settings. I think I turned off anti-aliasing because I don't know what it does.
Oh,
Um,
anti-aliasing
it just makes
is
it less pixelated. It
yeah,
smooths
it's
out
stuff
like
in the
outlines,
distance that has pixels. You
but
know.
it doesn't really matter because I'm not looking out in the distance. I'm not going into Fallout 4 to take screenshots.
True.
No offense to Bethesda, but Fallout 4 looks kind of garbage. I had to install like 20 plus mods to make the game look okay.
It didn't
All
even
right.
look good when it first came out. Honestly, I mean, it looked
No,
okay. It looked passable.
vanilla textures look god awful. Oh my lord, they're horrible.
Oh yeah.
Like if you zoom in, even like looking at your hands or other characters in front of you, unless you're in like a like audio pass, like a dialogue exchange,
Mm-hmm.
or in a load screen, it looks terrible. And honestly, I most games do that. When you zoom in really close, textures look bad because they're not meant to be viewed that close.
Yeah, yeah.
However, Fallouts, especially, even when you're not even zoomed in that close, they don't look good. They look very muddy.
Oh, for sure.
And
Although, like, zoomed out, the world does look pretty pretty.
oh yeah, like here,
Like I like the ambient shots people take, you know?
I'll have to send you a screenshot of some of the, or I'll have to send you an image of one of the screenshots I took. Um,
Yeah.
but what was it? And then they also have a 50 gigabyte HD texture pack. You want to know what that texture pack mainly is?
What?
Not HD textures. Over half of it is untouched vanilla textures. Only
Oh,
like I
so like
think,
the images they used for the
yeah,
textures?
yeah.
Wait,
So
not all of them are HD?
I think only like a third of the entire pack is actually HD textures, and most of it aren't even like environmental textures or anything.
Hmm.
They're just close-ups of like weapon models or like newspapers
That's
is
why it
one
had
of
a
them that
mixed
I saw.
reception on Steam then. I noticed that.
Yeah, it's just it's such a lie. Honestly, there are people who on Nexus who mod the game to have 10 times better textures than the actual HD texture pack gives you.
Yeah.
And I don't understand how are people that sit in their room and do this shit way better at doing it than an actual professional studio. I get that people
It's
who
so
mod
weird,
have
yeah.
no deadline. They have no deadline or anything, so they can work on that stuff for months and like pump out really good textures. But a big ass studio has like 200 or like 10, 100 times more people, maybe even like 250 times more people than a single modder. Maybe there are some mods that like are like a team of 3 people. Studios have way bigger amount of people than they do, and they don't produce as good a quality as 3 people. That's just sad. And I get that studios as big as Bethesda are actually under a lot of time constraint.
Yeah, they've got to
People
do
like
something. Like,
they got
at
to
the end
do
of
a
the day,
lot of stuff.
modders are just adding on to an already finished product. Developers have to,
Yeah,
like, they make it from
make it
scratch.
from scratch.
And they
Yeah.
have, like, that's why they have so many people, because from scratch, that would take you 10 years if you were 3 people.
hmm
While with, like, this many people, it would take 3 or 4,
hmm
depending on the game, of course. Um,
And what's the good thing is that Bethesda knows that these mods are really well done, professionally done. So they actually endorse, like they don't endorse them, but you can actually download mods from BethesdaNet right into Fallout, which means that Bethesda actually encourages modding of their game,
that's something I
which
really
is
like about
nice.
Bethesda. They're like, they
Yeah, they
encourage
actually,
it from, like, they're like, hey,
Mhm.
you want to add some mods? Go ahead. Even if you
Yeah.
don't have any mods installed, there still is a mod menu as soon as you open the game.
hmm
It's just right
Although it
there.
takes like 5 minutes to log in, and it
Yeah.
doesn't work half the time
But,
for whatever
it's
reason.
something. It's definitely something.
Okay, yeah, so Halo Infinite does have server issues.
Oh, well, that was random, but fair enough.
Mhm.
Uh,
Sorry, because I brought it up earlier and I kind of wanted to, close that off. I kind of want to circumcise that open discussion.
circumcise that foreskin. Yeah. These episodes go all over the place, I must say. And if I'm being real with you, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Exactly.
Like,
They're
I
more
don't know. So
entertaining.
many podcasts just sit there and for 2 hours talk about the same thing. So, you know what? And I feel like that makes it more entertaining to listen to this
Hmm
if it was just one thing, then I think people would get bored of it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes the reason why I say this is because sometimes I think about it like, oh man, that's so weird. But then I'm like, then I realize what I just said. So maybe it's not that bad.
hmm So, James, do you think that Ethan Klein is indeed out of shape, according to Joe Rogan?
I mean, he's fat, so yeah.
Yeah, he is.
This is a
He's a
discussion
fat
that I
bastard.
kind of don't want to get into because
Mhm. What's going
this
on with that? You probably know more about it than me, but
I've seen
I
it
know
on
that
Twitter a bit. It's just
I know
Joe
that
Ethan
him.
Klein just doesn't like Joe Rogan, so fair
Yeah,
enough. That's a
I know
fair
something
point,
about that.
uh, but I gotta say Ethan sometimes just oversteps what he like his boundaries a little bit. Like I have respect for
Mhm.
Ethan Klein as like a figure, and I
Yeah,
think that he
sometimes
gets
he's annoying and a little
he is
cringe.
annoying sometimes and a little cringe, but like I think he gets more hate than he really deserves, and a lot of the
Hmm
points people bring up against him are like highly exaggerated.
Yeah,
Like I remember there's this Turkey Tom. He's a commentary YouTuber. If you know who that is, he made a
I don't.
video. He made a video criticizing Ethan Klein, and at the end, he actually debunked a lot of points people make against him because he thought they were stupid.
Hmm
So in the same video criticizing him, he debunks stupid points, which I gotta respect. But I think that Ethan gets way too much hate because like a lot of it is out of his control and a lot of it is very unjustified. But sometimes it is very much warranted. I'd say like half of the stuff he's criticized for is fair, and the other half is just bullshit people are pulling out of their ass and making up. Remember there was this rumor that some people still believe that Ethan stole the Vape Nation joke from Filthy Frank, which is not true at all. Ethan has called Frank before about it, and Frank said that he didn't even make the joke. Yeah, or Joji, whatever you want to call him. He said that he never even made the joke. It was technically one of Frank's producers who made the joke in front of Ethan, and Ethan used that as inspiration to make an improvisational video. How do you steal an improv video from 2 words somebody said? Huh? How does that make sense?
Yeah, it is a little goofy.
It's just people just want reasons to hate him, so you know what, whatever. That's what people do on the internet. That's the point.
People like, holy shit, get off Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, people just sit on that all day and just dump on celebrities because they have literally nothing better to do.
I know.
Because they're a low-life, basement-dwelling leech of society.
Like, I want to delete Twitter, but like...
That just suckles on their dad's titties the whole time.
I wish I had an actual doorknob.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why you don't have that. That's like the prison room.
It's pretty essential, yeah. But, yeah, because she always breaks in here while I'm recording, and it makes a lot of these background noises. Like, you can hear her stepping. Back to the topic, though.
Before we get back to the topic, but I know it's a little, probably too personal for the podcast, but why don't you have a doorknob? You never explained that to me. Your shit is it's just like a saloon door where you just push it open and it closes on its own because there's no handle.
Bit of a long story. It's not too personal, though. So we had, when we first moved into this new house here, we had doorknobs with locks on them. And I would lock it whenever I was going to bed because I didn't want, actually, no, not when I was going to bed. I'd lock it when I was like having Ruby, oh my god, just breaking in again.
Just leave her in there.
Yeah. Whatever.
Anyways.
I hope she doesn't make too much noise for the video. But point is,
just bar the door with a chair or something. Put a cinder block on it. Just bar the door with like a cinder block.
I have like my laundry hamper closes the door usually. Anyway,
anyways, continue.
So when we first moved in, we had like doorknobs with locks on them, and I was, whenever I was just wanting to do something privately, I would just lock the door or whatever, or if I was getting dressed or doing something I just didn't want to be interrupted on.
Makes sense.
And Eric didn't like that very much because he would often just start jiggling the doorknob and pounding on the door, like, "Hey, what are you doing? What are you locking the door, huh?" You know, he would just start doing that, and at one point he got so mad that he just kind of removed our doorknobs at one point, or he removed the locks out of them. And just put them back on.
See, I think that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
The door should be able to close.
Yeah.
Like, that's the purpose of the doorknob being on a door. If you didn't want a door to close, just take off the door.
I mean, it's not the reason why I don't have a doorknob isn't because they don't want me to have one. It's basically just the door is broken and they just haven't bought me a new one. The reason why it's broken is because I think like after he removed the lock, I just had the doorknob there, and then he removed that too because there was this brief period where they were trying to they thought that me and my sister were always up to something, so they were wanted to be able to keep track of us, which is my sister did sneak out a few times, but I've never done anything. I've always just stayed in my room.
Makes sense. So you were just the guy that's I
don't know why I was getting punished.
My room, but I cook drugs in my closet.
Yeah, you don't know about that. But yeah, I don't know why they would punish me for something I didn't even do. They would keep tabs on me when I wasn't even doing anything. I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't mind trying stuff like drugs or whatever, but I don't have the opportunity, nor do I care enough to sneak out and go find out a way. It's low. It's really low on my priority list. That's a thing I would do if I had the chance.
It's always so funny how the people who because that's the thing. The people who you don't suspect are always the worst. That's the mantra or whatever. And I guess they thought because you were always in your room so much and you didn't really go out, they thought we're what's he doing up there?
Being sus.
Sniffing around. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly though, if I ever did go out and smoke weed and come back, I'd probably just tell my parents yeah, that's what I was doing. It was cool.
Yeah, I went out and did drugs. What are you gonna do about it, huh? Pussies?
Exactly. I would literally just do that.
I'm a grown ass man.
I would literally just do that because like I don't really care if they know what I'm up to or not. Because if I
You
come
just run
back and
with
they
a
ask me,
fat
"Hey James,
blunt.
where were you?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I smoked a fat blunt. It was an
Yeah,
interesting experience." Because like I remember I've
just
told
come
my
back in with the blunt still lit,
yeah.
just like Rockefeller or something, or like Humphrey Bogart. Just walk in, go puff it right in Eric's face, and be like, "You want to hit?" Or
Because I
here it
wouldn't
is.
even like I don't
Here
really
it
I'm
is.
not really scared of hiding anything from my parents anymore. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
like not only do I not really do much, but like even if I did, like why would I really care enough to hide it? Like who gives a shit?
Mm-hmm.
I'm an adult man. I don't really care. But anyway, that was a bit of a tangent. Oh yeah, the reason why the door is broken is because he kicked it open once, so that's cool.
You get swatted by your stepdad.
Yeah, it's because I was
I
feeling
bet that was
suicidal one
terrifying.
night, and I wanted to be alone, and like
Mm.
Eric didn't like that, I guess, so he just kicked it open, like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I was just like, just sitting here alone. He was like, "Oh, okay," and then he just walks away. And since then,
You're just
the
sitting there
door's
in the.
been broken.
Mm. Were you just sitting in like a big smoking chair by a fireplace, just in a robe? Like, hmm.
Ah, yeah, hello, my compadre. But
Mm.
anyway, I think we should go back to like what we were talking about a bit ago, like Twitter and whatever,
What do
because
you
this
mean?
is a
This is
personal
not a
story.
topic. Oh, Twitter, the internet cesspool full of people that are just dead set on hating anything that's not them.
Exactly. I
My,
was gonna say I've been tempted a few times to delete Twitter, but like the more I think about it, I realize I use this for promotion, and I use this to see what my friends are up to. You know, like
I don't use it at all.
I think
I'll
like a
go on there.
third. I think like a
Go ahead.
third of my views I get are from Twitter, like a third of them,
Mm,
because like mostly
sure.
because like buddies of mine will see it on Twitter and go like, ah, he made a new video. Okay.
I see. I hardly use Twitter. I'll go on there every so often just to see like YouTubers that I subscribe that I'm subscribed to, like see all the dumb stuff they might post.
Yeah.
Because I follow a lot of shitposty kind of channels. Um,
Like to see what they're up to.
yeah,
I've
sometimes
noticed a
they don't
few
even.
times you would respond to my tweets. Like I posted a picture
Mhm.
of me in a turtleneck, and you were like, "Steve Jobs looking motherfucker,"
Yeah, you did. You were in jeans and a black turtleneck.
and then I quote
You telling
tweeted
me
you,
you're
and I
not
said,
Steve Jobs looking motherfucker?
and I quote tweeted you, and I said, "All right, that's it. Homie chat is canceled." I don't know if you saw
Mhm.
that.
Well, that was a lie. Because we're in
Yeah,
the middle of
apparently
doing it
so.
right now.
I decided to
Um,
forgive you and drop all charges for my
mhm.
defamation of character lawsuit
Was
that
it?
I was preparing.
Oh, wait. Speaking of lawsuit, did you hear about the court case of Roblox versus who's it?
That one YouTuber
Maxim?
guy, I forgot what
Yeah,
his
something
name
like
was.
that.
I watched Mudahar and Critical's videos about it, so I know a decent amount of information.
Yeah,
I
that
believe
was
Roblox lost even. The allegations they were throwing were funny because like
yeah,
some
terrorism. Some like he exposed so much of them. They're like, yeah, there's like
I believe like he
literal
exposed that
child pedophilia rings on here, and they're like, they just whipped out. They were just throwing every card on the table, any big term, big scary term. They were like terrorism and threats and bombing and all that stuff. And then he was like, yeah, so I figured out that these people are embezzling money for like a child pedophile ring, and they're like, oh, drop all charges. Sorry, man.
I recall one of the things he
They
exposed was
dipped
that
immediately.
one of Roblox's biggest moderators or something like was looking at NSFW content publicly,
Mhm. Oh yeah, he was
even though
looking at porn at work or something like that.
no, it was like he had a blog where he would post his favorite like porn and post
Yeah,
pictures
he
of him
ran a
naked.
porn
But like,
blog.
no, I don't think this guy was a pedo. I just think this guy was like stupid. Keep it private.
Ruben Sim, that's who it was.
Oh yeah,
Sorry for
that's the name.
sorry for thinking it was Maxim or whatever. Ruben Sim. Roblox corporate is suing the controversial gaming YouTuber Ruben Sim. The lawsuit claims he tried to upload a picture of Hitler and a naked photo of himself. It also alleges he sexually harassed other users and posted terroristic threats after he was banned. None of
Hmm,
which is true, by the way.
that's funny. Um, but yeah, there was like one of the Roblox devs was like he had like an NSFW blog, and he
Mhm.
was like retweeting furry
Yeah,
YIF.
he posted like naked pictures of himself or
Yeah,
whatever.
and he was retweeting YIF on Twitter, and like that
Hmm.
wouldn't be a problem if it weren't public. Like
Yeah,
keep that private. Kids might follow you.
and
Just
then
keep it private, dumbass.
something something like they were using the company's money to do something.
I didn't hear about
I think
that.
that was I think that was another thing. I can't remember. I think I'm wrong.
It could be,
I probably
yeah.
am.
We
Again.
could be getting things mixed up, but I think maybe we shouldn't talk about things we're not super educated on, you know? Because I feel like we could look like
True,
dumbasses
but then we
for.
just encourage people
Oh, that's true.
to do
We're
their own
encouraging
research.
people to do
Every
their own
time
research. Yes.
every time I say something, I'm telling the audience and you, like, hey, I don't know about this completely, so I'm probably wrong,
Ah,
or I might
yes,
be
yes.
wrong.
We at Homie Chat are
So don't
scholars.
take take my words with a massive rock boulder of salt.
Yes, yes. Uh,
So
we at Homie Chat, we implore you. Anything we talk
mhm,
about, if it piques your interest, we
do your
implore
own
you to do
research.
your research. Yes, because we are not experts. We're just a couple of idiots who knew each other
Mhm.
in high school for film class, and we're just sitting here talking about the most random shit. So please do your own research. Do not. We are not a reliable source of info. We're here for entertainment. Oi,
What do you mean?
cunt. No, bruv.
No, I think Australian people say cunt a lot.
Is,
It's a
is anyone
it
watching
doesn't.
Homie Chat on the telly?
Yeah. Are you watching it on the radio or the radio, whatever? I don't know what the radio is in Britain.
I don't know. The funny
I know the
box with the
telly.
sounds coming out.
Yeah. They listen to it on the telly,
The
on the
sa-
telegram.
the soundy box.
Yeah, on the telegram.
To any of my
You get a
viewers in the
transcript.
UK, I apologize because I know I have a few
Mhm.
viewers from the UK.
Oh no.
They're gonna hate me now. They're gonna unsub from Homie Chat and Bergnut. Oh no.
Yeah, they probably just cringed really hard.
You know what? Any of my British friends, you can go ahead and make fun of my American stereotypes for me. You know, like, oh yeah,
Have
I
you
got my
ever heard?
pickup truck and my cheeseburger and my
Yeah.
guns and my
Have you ever heard?
freedom.
Have you ever heard a British person do an American accent?
It's just as cringy as us doing British ones. So you know what?
Exactly.
We were. I guess we're
So
even
don't
then.
encourage them.
I guess it's even then. We have shitty British stereotypes. They have shitty American stereotypes. That's how. That's the circle of life, my friend.
This is true.
I want to. I want to see some like British person people making fun of our stereotypes. That'd actually be interesting. Like the
Yeah, it
cultural
would be.
gap we have. Anyways, what else has been going on with you, Mr. Goose?
Well, if we're going to go ahead and do that, not really much. I'm just in college right now, studying. It's only the second day since classes started,
Mm-hmm.
so not really much to talk about.
Of course.
Um,
I
I
start
just have.
college. I might start college next semester because the information I've been needing has been very late for me.
I see.
Like
Did you
the
send over
deadline for getting.
transcripts and stuff like that?
I just got my like the due date for getting all that stuff was a few days ago. So, and
Oh
there's some
no.
information I won't be able to get until a month from now. So,
Oh man.
I guess I'll have to miss this semester. But that's okay. I mean, more free time, more time to save up money, and more time to, get the stuff I need. So that's not bad.
Yeah,
In
not
fact,
bad.
if
It's better to be.
if I
It's
just hopped in now, that I'd be unprepared as hell.
it's better to what is it? Wait extra time. I mean, it's not good to wait super long,
Yeah.
but it's better to have all your information like ready
Mm-hmm.
and have it be like prepared
Of course it
before,
is.
applying or whatever.
Um, yeah, but other than that, I must say I am hyped for tomorrow because two things are happening. For one thing, it's payday, so that's always good.
Hell yeah,
Very, very
Wednesdays
hype.
are always payday.
Yeah, for me, it's every other Thursday.
For me, it was every other Friday.
Uh, what I like to do on paydays is I like to stay up till like 3 or 4 a.m., which is when usually the money comes in.
Wait for the money to come in.
Yeah, I just sit there like gaming or on a Discord call, and it's like the New Year's celebration.
Yeah, it's like right when you see the money come through, you're like,
Yeah, baby.
yeah, here, I could do it. I mean, I don't really want to scream, but
No,
I mean, I
don't
guess I
you
could.
don't have to do this. You don't have to do this, Goose. Think of the
Okay,
children.
I won't. I won't. Man, fuck them kids.
You're gonna blow out some kids' eardrums.
Hmm. Oh yeah, baby. That's what I'm going for. That's what it's all about.
That's like
Yeah,
the
you just
mating
wait for it.
call of
Hmm.
stupid young adults on the internet.
Yeah, I should probably stop doing that. I feel like that the critical woo yeah baby is kind of a dead horse
Yeah,
at this point.
you're kicking the dead horse right in the balls, dude.
Mhm. Mhm.
um, And also tomorrow is the day Hitman 3 gets its year 2 update. Uh,
Oh,
it
what are they adding?
For one thing, they're bringing the game to Steam. They're bringing the game to
Oh,
Game Pass, the whole trilogy.
oh,
They're also adding this, or actually, that mode comes out in a few months, but it's going to be part of year 2. It's going to be this thing called okay, I don't remember what it was called, but what I know is that it gives you a customizable safe house, and you get to
mm,
like choose
mm.
these like custom campaigns where you go to
Wait,
like locations.
wait. Can I put hair on Agent 47?
I don't think so. I just know you can customize the safe
Gosh,
house.
damn it, man. Damn it, man.
But yeah, and unless you like choose these campaigns, you can go on where you get to go to locations, and instead of having the target already known, you just know what the target has done in a basic description. You have to find the target yourself through like intuition.
Oh, oh, okay.
Yeah, and like you get to go on these campaigns, and you get to actually like purchase weapons and weapon upgrades in the missions themselves. Like you get to meet weapon dealers.
Mhm.
So it's like this
Can
new
you
mode that gives it more replay value.
can you choose like who you want to be? Do you have to be Agent 47,
Well,
or
yeah,
can you
that's like
choose
the
to be like
point. Like, cause okay, this is a spoiler for Hitman 3 for the people watching this. I'll put a time on screen where I'm done talking about
they
minor spoilers.
are they doing like a Watch Dogs Legion sort of thing where you
I
have to
have no
choose who you
idea.
want to be?
No, no, no.
Oh damn.
But spoiler for Hitman 3. Like I said, I'll put a time on screen for when I'm done talking about this minor spoiler. But in the game, at the very end, you expose your own agency to the world, the ICA. Like you
Mm,
delete all evidence that you were involved, and then you expose it to the world, which means it's shut
mm,
down now. So now 47 is independent, and he's going after those he thinks deserve justice
I
instead of
see.
just being paid to take out random criminals or whatever.
So he became Batman, a bald-headed gun wielding Batman.
Yeah, yeah, he's like his own. He's like his own guy now.
Mm.
So
Instead of Batman,
that's
he's bald man.
yeah, because he wants to like he wants to do good now that he's spent his whole life being like a tool for other people.
Mm. He was a tool.
He spent the whole series being a bald gun-toting tool for other people.
Mm. Makes sense.
But and they're also bringing the VR mode to PC.
I saw that. I saw. I'm on the website, IOI's website right now,
Hmm.
and I saw that they had VR. I
Yeah,
was like, oh,
like
that looks cool.
because like
You can peek around corners and
previously
stuff.
because previously the VR mode was existing, but it was only on PlayStation, which PSVR for PS4 is not that great.
Mm.
If you didn't
No,
know.
it is not. Didn't you say the PlayStation 4, if you play it in VR, you can
Yeah,
hear like the fan burning?
I watched Up Is Not Jump's video talking about Hitman 3 VR for PlayStation, and
Hmm.
he said his PS4 Pro sounded like a jet turbine, and he showed like footage of it.
Yeah, it's like,
It was like woo, and like, and also it's like apparently the VR version on PlayStation is super buggy, like,
hmm
and also
makes sense.
you can only use the PS4 controller. You can't even use the Move controllers. So
That
like
sounds really terrible.
it's not that bad from what I've heard. Like it controls decent enough for what it is, but like it's not as good as how it would have been if you can have your own free hands.
Mm.
But like whenever I saw the year 2 announcement video, as soon as it showed VR, and like it showed two hands moving, and I was like, oh, finally, like just showed two hands independently with two guns shooting people like on different sides of them, and I was like, oh, that's so good.
It's such a good quality of life change.
Yeah, and like it was for the PC announcement, of course. And I remember like one of the developers showed a clip of it on Twitter. He was walking around like punching people and making them fly with how hard he was punching them. That looks like so much fun.
All right.
They also mentioned that the way they're, you know how like in the game you get to throw stuff at people.
Mm.
They said the
Like
way
most
they,
VR games.
yeah, but like in the Hitman normal, you like lock onto people and throw objects. You know, the
Hmm.
way they did it in they're doing it for the PC VR version is like you use your left hand or your non-dominant hand to like aim, and it locks on, and you use your other hand that's holding the item to throw it. So that's
Mm.
actually pretty unique. So you can just like you can throw it any way you want, and it'll still hit them. So you can like do like an underhand toss, and the soda can will smack the guy in the head.
I see.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm really excited for tomorrow because it comes out on PC VR. I don't know if my PC will handle it too well, but we'll see. It'll sound like a bunch of bees are filling up my computer, but we'll see.
Sorry.
Yeah,
All right, I got a boat turbine or a boat horn
yeah, just
in my
in
room.
my computer. I mean, it already sometimes it gets real. The fan gets real loud when I'm playing VR chat on the thing.
Really?
It's funny because that's the only game that my PC sometimes like goes funny with in VR.
I'm honestly surprised your computer can handle VR chat.
Like I can handle Half-Life Alyx with no problem. I can handle Boneworks with mostly no problems, or Minecraft VR with no problems. And then it's like VR chat that sometimes gets funny with me.
Mm. I should probably get VR chat because now that I actually added you as a friend on Steam, I could get like Valheim or something, but I don't have a VR
Yes.
headset, and I kind of don't want to until I get a new job. I kind of don't want to get a VR headset because that's
Hmm.
like $400. I don't need to spend.
Yeah.
Um, but I want to get VR chat. I think it's actually in my library. Um, that I just,
It's
you
it's a
know,
fun it's a fun time.
well, yeah, because you're just talking with a bunch of random people. Although,
Yeah.
admittingly, James, do you come into contact with like a kind of like some assholes on there where they just are dicks for no reason? You're like, yo, I'm just trying to chat, and they're like, screw you.
Not
Like,
really. I mean,
okay, good.
I've had a few annoying like 12-year-olds who like use these shitpost skins and go like "La, la, 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 la," and it's kind of like annoying. But other than that, I don't really find
Oh, are they the kids that are stuck in a time warp and they're still rocking the Ugandan knuckles and do the like
sometimes.
clicking sound?
Sometimes. Uh
That sounds god awful.
I do enjoy engaging in a bit of trolling though. I do remember me and these four random people I met in another game, like they were all these Michael Jackson skins.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
I was
good.
just this furry skin that I use, and I was like their leader. Like I said that I created them, and
Mm-hmm.
like we went into this server where you can like hang out with people, and we went around, and I was like, please forgive my sons. They're a bit out of control. They all have disabilities, so please be patient with them. And they were going around
Just
yelling hee
figured.
hee or whatever. I remember at one point, you know how like Michael Jackson could be a pedophile. It's unknown if that was true or not, but I remember at one point there was like a person with a lolly skin, and the Michael Jacksons were surrounding them or surrounding her.
Oh
And I was like,
no.
guys, stop! She's 14. And then one of them was like, that makes it better. And then
Oh God.
that killed me. Like for 5 minutes, I was floored.
He's like hee hee.
Like you said,
That's
that makes
funny.
it better. And I nearly fell to the floor with how hard I was laughing. I had to mute the mic because I didn't want to peak.
Just like it's like
Because like Rift S microphones are notorious for breaking up whenever you peak it.
mhm. Yeah, it's a real shame you broke the Yeti.
Oh yeah,
Mm,
my original Yeti mic.
yeah.
Oops. I mean, you got it for free anyway, so who cares?
Did I though?
You
Did
mentioned
I?
you did.
Nah, I was just screw up on the. Technically, the mic I'm using right now is the one I got for free. The one I gave you was still $70.
Ah, fair enough.
So,
I mean, okay, well now I'm careful. I actually have it on a stand now, so it can't even fall over.
yeah, what happened to the other one? How did that break?
I knocked it over by accident.
You.
Well, the first time I knocked it over, it just made a small dent on the mic part, and that
Hmm.
was not really a big deal. But
James,
then, what?
am I saying that you actually have Fallout 76?
Yes, I got it just so I could say that I have the entire Fallout series.
What? It's still $40?
I
Really?
got it on sale.
Oh, good.
Also, I have to say that recently I've been playing 76, and like, it's kind of
It's
fun.
better, huh?
Yeah, it's actually kind of a fun time just going around grinding some side quests, killing some
Mhm.
monsters, and occasionally running into some guy and going like, "Hey, what's up? You got any supplies? Thanks,
Yeah,
King."
you remember, or actually, you don't remember,
I
but
like it more than
I
Fallout 4,
remember.
honestly.
I remember the time when there was no NPCs, there were no side quests, there was nothing to do in the game besides just survive and try not to get killed by a guy in power armor or someone
Yeah,
with a slightly better tire iron than you and steal all your scrap over and over again because before they added in the patch where it was before a patch you could just fight anyone. Like if you started attacking them, boom, duel immediately. However, if you now there's a patch where if people attack you, you have to hit back before a duel is like initiated,
hmm
I believe.
or
Am I
there is
wrong?
this mode you can activate after you get to like level 10, where you can just set yourself as always duelable or something, so you can like
Mm-hmm.
have this experience where you're going around fighting people if you want
Yeah, or
to.
you can have like you can turn it off or something like that. Anyways, before that patch or a couple patches that were in, no, 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 people could just go up and kill you. Okay.
whenever they
Um,
wanted.
yeah, and I remember there was a guy who built a bunch of turrets, and I went up to him and I was like, "Yo, hey, you couldn't. There was no microphones or anything, or I didn't have a mic, so I couldn't talk to him and be like, "Yo, you want to like team up or whatever? Just go around the world."
Hmm.
Uh, no, he had turrets. He ran up and started attacking me, which turned his. So I attacked him back, and I was like, "Yo, like back up." All of his turrets turned on me, killed me over and over. Every time I went to go get my scrap again, it wasn't like it reset the turrets like hostility towards me. No, I kept getting killed over and over. So I
Wow.
decided to let bygones be bygones. Was enough. I was done with that shit. I went to I think the big main hub area, which is like a big mansion full of Mr. Handies or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, this is cool. I think I like sold some stuff, bought like a hunting rifle. Um, went around like the back of the big mansion,
Hmm.
and there was a legendary albino rad stag. I think it was just a legendary rad stag. At this point in time of the game, I think I had a couple mutations. I had one, I forgot what it's called. I think it was called like Banker's Dilemma or something like. It was a
Yeah.
really shitty mutation that made me take like 50% increased damage or whatever, or it
What the
made me take
fuck?
like it made me take way more damage
I
and
think
do
you
way
mentioned that
less
on.
damage.
I believe you
Yeah,
mentioned
I,
on the
I think they
Chris Arcade
removed
episode
it.
of the podcast.
Yeah, I think they removed it.
They also made
But
it to
I
where you
think
can
I
get rid of mutations if you use enough Radaway.
hmm um but anyways, long story short, I got stuck in a death loop. Not the game by Bethesda. I got stuck in a literal death loop by the Radstag running up and hitting me, which would basically take all my health away, and maybe before I could heal, he would just hit me again. And
God damn.
if I did manage to get a heal off by like chugging or like by injecting myself in all my major arteries with stim packs, the Radstag would just take all that health away again.
God
And I
damn,
couldn't
that's
run
awful.
away. I couldn't run away because it's a Radstag. They chase you down. So
Ruby, hey, stop making noise.
I just I just stopped playing the game. I said, "Or you know what? I've had enough of this." Home screened, closed the game, deleted it.
That's very fair. They've made it. I have like a. I hate to say this, but like the side quests in 76 are like they're
Go
about
ahead.
as fun as like the fetch quest missions from New Vegas.
So
I don't
not
mean the.
fun at all.
Hmm?
So not fun at all.
Oh no, they're fun. Like they're done in a way
Mm.
similar to how New Vegas did its fetch quests, where like you're
I
given a
see.
good reason, you get there. There's like monsters to fight, secret
Hmm.
loot you can find, other places to go in there. Like it's so far, it's a fun game. Like they've made it decent.
I
It's I
see.
have more fun with it than Fallout 4. Like I genuinely dislike Fallout 4, but 76 is making the new engine, the same engine.
What?
I
You
hate
don't
to
like Fallout
I hate to
4?
admit this. I just don't
Okay,
like Fallout 4. There's a lot of I have a lot of reasons.
to be honest, I think that Fallout 4 is Fallout 76 is a good multiplayer game.
Yeah,
Okay? It's a good Fallout multiplayer. But for single player, I think Fallout 4 is the best because you know it doesn't have really competitive any competition besides maybe New Vegas.
yeah,
But for a newer Fallout game running on the new Creation engine, Fallout 4 I think is good because it's a fun shooter and all the modability.
yeah. I just
The amount of mods you can put in that game they essentially make the game way better.
yeah. I
But
mean, New
at
Vegas has a
vanilla,
much bigger mod fan base, but yeah,
true. But I mean, exclusively for Fallout 4.
yeah.
But vanilla Fallout 4, if we're talking straight vanilla Fallout 4 is terrible.
I
It's not
agree.
fun.
That's why I don't like it.
It's not great.
I could mod
But
it if I wanted to, but I don't know. It's like for me, it's like putting lipstick on a skeleton. Like
mm,
I, I, I wanted to like Fallout 4. I honestly did. When I got it, I was like, okay. I know that the fan base
mm,
doesn't like this game very much, but like I was willing to give it a chance. The first like
yeah.
20 minutes did impress me. Like the opening was pretty good. I liked the visuals, even if they're not great. They were at least like comprehensive, and there was a consistent style to it.
Hmm.
And first 30 minutes go by. I play a few of the side quests, pretty decent. But then like I run across the Red Rocket gas station. There's a dog. I immediately get my first companion in the first hour, and I'm like, that's a bit weird, but okay. That's a little too fast. I already have a buff this early in the game when I haven't really had much combat experience. Whatever,
Well,
a
the
little
thing
strange. And
is
then I head down to
I think
Concord, and there's a whole gunfight going on. I participate, and then I go up top to the roof. There's a fucking set of power armor I can already wear in the first
mhm.
hour. That's such jarring, like that's such a jarring pace. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like why did the
Um,
game go that fast?
that quest actually, I saw a video about it recently. That quest almost actually killed Fallout 4 because it gives the player all these things, and I get that it's supposed to introduce certain mechanics of the game. Like, oh yeah, power armor is a thing in this game. Companions are a thing in this game, and all this stuff. However, it did it so fast, and it made you fight a death claw like the first maybe hour, or for me it was like the first 30 minutes
Yeah,
after I spent
was it
like
within the
time
first
scrapping
hour?
all of Sanctuary. But it's like the first hour of the game, you're already fighting a higher level enemy that is a death claw. Of course, they give you a minigun, but
You already have power armor. You already have a
yeah,
companion,
you already have a minigun. You already have power armor that's mostly a full set. Of course, it sucks. It's really bad. The
but it's
death
still
claw
power
tears
armor is the
through the
thing.
armor. Yeah, the death claw tears through the power armor really quickly. But they give you a minigun. They give you power armor. Um, you have to fight a death claw. Like, it's they give you, and you have a dog meat, which I think honestly, if they would have just had it, get rid of Deathclaw, have the Raiders, and then maybe you fight like a Raider boss or something that's another human, and you only get dog meat, no power armor till like after Sanctuary, I think that would be a lot better pacing.
I think you should have gotten the power armor in like Diamond City or something.
That would have been better too,
Yeah,
probably.
like I think the game's pacing is so odd. Like it gives you all these things early on that whenever those moments where you can't use them, it's just jarring because you don't really know what you're doing. In fact, whenever I've played Fallout 4, I've intentionally gone without companions or power armor because that makes the
Yeah,
game more challenging.
I go, well, considering all the hours I've put into Fallout 4, I mean, I had an AK that shoots or an AK that shoots explosive rounds, and all my armor is ballistic weave Mark 5 from
Hmm.
Tinker Tom. So I don't take that much damage. I have like 1,000 resistance, damage resist. Um, and all my stuff is lead lined too, so
Hmm.
I don't take as much damage. So I'm pretty much a walking tank. However, I don't run companions because I have the Lone Wanderer perk spec completely out.
Yeah.
So and so I get like I think I get 25 more action points. I get 100 plus carry weight and I think 25% increase in damage.
Yeah.
So not running a companion is way more beneficial to me. Plus, I don't have to worry about the companion's morality. You know how like when you do certain things or like that companion disliked it or that companion liked it. I don't have to
Yeah, you
worry
don't have
about
to
that.
worry about all that bullshit. But
Mhm. I could kill an innocent person, loot their clothing, and then sell it to somebody, and no one would care.
yeah, like I think
Not that I do that.
I
I
don't
don't just
think
kill random people, but
fair enough. I don't think Fallout 4 is a bad game by any means. I just found it really disappointing and really boring, and a
Mhm.
very had a very
Mhm.
jarring pace and an absolutely god awful story.
Oh
But
yeah, the story is horrible.
although I have to say, playing it, I have the VR version and I modded it to actually be playable and decent. Playing it in VR is actually a lot more fun than vanilla. Like actually playing it in VR
Mhm.
actually motivates me to play it. I've gone farther than I did in vanilla, like with VR.
Oh, sweet.
Although some of the mods I couldn't get working. Like there's this one mod that adds like a holster that you can like holsters all over
Mhm.
your body you can like choose from. I couldn't get that
Yeah.
to work correctly. Like I stored like a 10 millimeter pistol in my right hip, and whenever I tried to pull it out, it just wouldn't do anything. Might be because the
Like it got
Oculus
stuck in
Rift
your
can,
inventory?
yeah, it would just be there, and I couldn't pull it off my hip no matter what I did. Like that's always the point of the
Hmm.
mod, you know. But like, I could be because the Rift S controllers don't have enough buttons to map, so maybe like whoever
Maybe.
made the mod made it to where you have to press a certain button that I don't have. That
Was it
could
meant
be it.
for the Oculus or was it meant for
It was
something
just
else?
meant for general VR. Like Fallout 4 VR supports Oculus Rift S natively, so I just kind of assumed it would have worked.
Hmm.
But I guess I don't know. Whoever made the mod must have made it for like maybe Vive controllers or Index or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was it
Possible.
meant for like Vive or another thing? Or Steam? Was it made for the Steam VR?
It could be. But you know, I'll look into that some other time. But other than that, though, the Fallout 4 VR experience is a lot of fun if you can mod it to or actually run good and whatnot. My only complaint is that it's a bit stuttery when you walk through the open world, but in buildings, it's like a buttery smooth, like 60 to 90 frames. But
Yeah, like
out in the open world, it's like a 30 to 40 FPS with the occasional stuttering, which is
oh
it's
yeah,
not that
like
bad.
so I figured out that you have to leave VSync on Fallout 4, otherwise the game loads it's like tied to the frame rate.
Mm-hmm.
Like Fallout 76 had that issue where the game speed was tied to the frame rate. So if you had, blah, blah, blah. I just had a stroke. If you had a really good computer, the game would run really fast. And I figured if you turn off VSync, and I went into the settings and kind of changed a couple of things around via mod. Like the mod wasn't even a mod; it was just a text document that you download, and it just is instructions. So I did that, and the game still says I'm getting 120 FPS, but it feels like I'm getting more like 140. Like it's pretty smooth. Like it's like lubed up butter smooth,
Yeah.
right?
Um,
Um,
I had to get this like, there's this like, I don't know what it's called really, but it's like you put it in the
uh,
files of Fallout 4 VR, and it lets you adjust the data values of things.
mhm.
And like something I hate that some VR games do is that it ties your movement to what direction your hand is pointed in. I never got that. I
That makes
prefer
no
it.
sense.
I never thought that made much sense. It just felt awkward to control because whenever I play VR games, I like to pretend I'm walking. Like I'll swing my hands around like I'm walking normally, just for fun.
Hmm.
But
Oh,
that
so your
makes it
character just kind of like
wiggles
flips out.
zigzags whenever I move forward. So I made it. I usually tie movement to my head, but that wasn't a native option in the game setting. So I had to get this, data pack thing modder made that lets you adjust settings in a more
Mhm.
advanced level, and I made it to where it tracks your head movement, not your hand movement, whenever you walk.
I don't understand that. Why doesn't VR tie your movement direction to your like the center, like center point? Because there's what
I'd
was it?
say to your head because
On what
that is your
yeah.
center point.
Well, I mean, I guess, but that means that you turn when you want to look. But if you want to keep moving forward and look to the side, can you do that, or
Yeah,
does
you
it
can.
like
You just have to like
oh
move your joystick to the left and then look to your. You just move
okay
it. It's not that big of a deal. It's like
okay
if you're moving forward and you want to look to your right, you move your joystick accordingly. So it's like like you look to your right, so you slowly move your joystick to the left a little, so you keep moving straight forward. I understand why it is a bit annoying. I understand what you mean completely,
hmm
but I just like that more than just pointing my hand somewhere because I like to act like I'm actually walking. Or in a gunfight where I'm obviously gonna win, I like to dance around like an idiot while blowing people's heads off.
I feel like that would be super intimidating to what is it uh uh damn it Raiders. Jeez,
Yeah,
I don't know why
yeah.
I couldn't think of it.
I
I feel like
just
that'd be super intimidating to Raiders to just see some guy pointing at them and running full speed at them with like a machete.
yeah,
Like that would be that I would shit my pants.
but like I
I'd be like, oh
was
my God, get me out of here.
I tied it to my head movement so I can actually do cool poses and stupid dances while I'm killing everyone. Like I remember this one time I found this raider camp and they were too good for me, but when I reloaded I looked around the area some more before they saw me. And for some reason my set of cheap power armor was in a trailer. I don't know how it got there. Is
Hmm.
that a bug or is that something that just happens like it teleports to an area close to you whenever you get too
No,
far
it shouldn't do that. Your power armor should stay
where you
at
left
the
it? Cuz
last place you left it.
I didn't
Yeah.
after I fought the Deathclaw in VR. I didn't even touch the damn thing. So it was either a glitch or I found another set of cheap power armor somewhere in the wasteland, which I don't think that's a thing.
Hmm.
Must have
Did
been
it
like
look
a
like Raider armor or was it
It
like a
just looked like
T-45?
normal cheap power armor.
Hmm.
But yeah, when I found it in there, I was
Well,
like,
I
"Oh, I'm
found.
winning now." So I put it on. I pull out a minigun and I
I
just
mean,
mow the people down. And I start dancing around like I'm a action movie star. Like, "Hey, you hiding over there?"
yeah, like I found probably maybe six or so suits of power armor just around the wasteland, and I already have XO1 power armor that I
Mm-hmm.
found from the Nuka World DLC. It's the Quantum XO1, which is the best power armor of the game.
Yeah.
So I already have that from the Nuka World DLC, meaning I don't need any other power armor. So if I'm not in power armor and I find new power armor, I get into it, walk around for a little bit, then just abandon it like it's trash.
Yeah. Can't you scrap
I
it to
just
get more parts or something?
no because okay, agreeably, I went into the console commands and gave myself like 1,000 carry capacity. So I could, in theory, carry like two, 3 or 4 sets of full power armor and still be fine to carry, like pick up a couple more guns
Yeah.
and be fine. But I don't do that because I don't need to carry that stuff around.
That's fair.
And I just hate seeing it in my inventory.
Yeah. I haven't found power armor in 76 yet though. I don't really know where to
Well,
find
power
it.
armor. I know power armor in 76 is pretty difficult to find.
I believe you need like to do some like advanced side quests or some shit to get it,
Yeah,
or
and I
buy
think you
it.
need to be a certain level.
You either buy it from the item shop or you find it in some quests.
I don't think you buy like power. You buy skins for the power armor
Oh wait, so
in
if you
the
bought it at
atomic
the beginning
shop.
of the game, you have to wait till you find it.
hmm
It's kind of a weird thing, but that makes sense, I guess. Oh yeah, do you know that there's NCR armor in 76 you can get from the Fallout First subscription service?
I guess that's just more fan service.
Yeah, that's
Like
so cool.
that
Like
is pretty cool.
you
But
can
they
be an,
also they sorry, I don't mean to cut you
that's okay.
off, but in Fallout 4 they actually mention the Mojave.
They do.
They talk about the NCR
I didn't know that.
and the Mojave, yeah. Like you get certain dialogue. Like Kellogg, he's actually from the he's from the Mojave.
Huh.
He mentions it in one of his flashbacks when you go into his brain. He goes like, "I went from the Mojave and I kept walking till I reached the Commonwealth or
Huh.
whatever."
That's actually really interesting. I didn't even know that.
He was a mercenary, as you know, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So he essentially his job just took him wherever. So he went from the Mojave as a mercenary and just made his way all the way to Boston, where he became the Institute's like handyman or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was pretty cool. And then they also there's a couple other NPCs that mention the Mojave.
That's actually really interesting. I didn't even know that.
They mentioned NCR specifically.
Okay, that must mean that the NCR ending in New Vegas is the canon one then.
And then they also mention the Brotherhood of Steel. Like the Brotherhood of Steel will mention the Citadel from the Capital Wasteland and everything.
Oh, that's neat.
They actually talk about it, which is pretty cool.
That's actually really neat. I thought they'd never even mentioned New Vegas in 4.
hmm
I know that one of the companions you can get if he, I think there's like these dialogue where he tries to hack robots or something, and one of them says, "Insert tape, Robert Edwin House," which is Mr. House's full name.
hmm
And like I do know that in Fallout 76, in one of Robco's, I think like Robco owns some kind of material mine. If you look
hmm
into one of the terminals, it'll mention how Mr. House demanded that this project continue for the sake of increasing production. Because he was alive before the war began because he was a
hmm
tech CEO.
hmm
But yeah, that's
Well, oh, go ahead.
and also like it's cool because the Robco company existed throughout the whole series, and New Vegas just
Mhm.
added the bit that it was Mr. House who created that company.
Yeah, it was
It,
Robco and
like you would
General Atomics.
it's funny because you would assume that Robco was named after just it's Robot Co, but no, it's Robert
hmm
Co.
hmm
Like yeah, it's Robert Co. Basically.
I think
Uh,
they actually I'm not too sure on this, but I think they might mention Mr. House in the Automatron DLC for Fallout 4 because that's all about robots. And I think there's some like audio or like little holotapes or like terminal entries that mention Mr. House and Robco and all that stuff.
that's neat.
Mhm.
Which ending of New Vegas do you think is canon though?
I don't know. I haven't played New Vegas in a long time. I don't remember
Ah,
the endings.
my guess is
The
that it's
ending,
either.
whatever ending I got is the canon one. No argument. No argument.
Didn't you say you worked for Caesar's Legion?
Yeah, because I am pro Caesar's Legion.
Ah, based in Legion Pilled.
hmm
My favorite's Mr. House personally because I think he's the most like logically sound.
hmm
The NCR is getting too big for its own good, and they're incompetent at holding the Mojave anyway. I feel like if they
The
took control, they'd eventually lose it.
the one reason why I sided with the Legion, and I'm not pro slavery,
You sure about
okay?
that?
Okay, I'm not pro slavery. Yeah, I'm sure, despite siding with the Legion. However, I liked it because the I kind of felt bad for the Legion, how they got their ass kicked by the NCR. And I was like, I wanna give
Support
them
the
this one.
underdogs.
Yeah, I wanted to give them this one. But then once they won the Hoover Dam and they kind of took over the entire um
Mojave
Mojave,
Wasteland.
it was
Yeah.
like, okay, maybe this isn't the best.
In the slideshow, it talks about how people are enslaved or have to leave.
hmm Oh, I watched actually a video on New Vegas cut content. There's actually there was a couple areas in the Legion where you could go and see the full mass of the Legion. Because you know how you only get like that one little area, then there's like kind of a blocked gate.
Mm-hmm.
Before that gate was unlocked, so you could go through it, and you could see like all of the Legionnaires like living where they lived,
Mm-hmm.
and you could see how big the Legion actually is. And then on top of that, you know how slaves only go like, "Excuse me," they don't say anything else.
They just kind of walk past you.
Yeah, they actually used to have dialogue, like genuine dialogue
That's
that
interesting. Well, there are a few
was
slaves you can talk to,
influenced
but not
on
a
the
lot.
game. Yeah, but most of them just go like, "Excuse me," and keep walking.
Yeah.
Like they, one of the things is if you were a female and you walked into the Legion, some of the slaves would be like, "You're a woman and you walk free, huh?" Because the Legion enslaves women.
Yeah.
So and if you were friends with the Legion, they would say like, "Oh, it's an honor to be in your presence." Or if you were an enemy, they'd say, "What the hell are you doing here? Like, you're an enemy."
Yeah.
So
That's
it
not
was actually,
smart.
and I don't know why they cut that. That seems like it would be such a good
They
addition.
probably ran out of time to fully flesh it out.
Well, the audio logs or the audio logs, the voice lines are fully in the game files.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
they could have
there's a
just
lot of
implemented it in a patch. Like
yeah.
it's really not a big deal.
There's a lot of post game content that was cut out. Like if you beat the game like vanilla, like you
Uh-huh.
just it
Yep.
just it goes back to the save right before you did the final battle. But there
Hmm.
was a lot of stuff they were planning for the game after you beat it that would actually like implement some of the choices you made that were shown in the slideshow. Like
Hmm.
there's some content that shows like what happens to Vegas depending on which side you're on. Like if it's Yes
Hmm.
Man, it'll like the strip will devolve into like a bunch of crooks running around with flags and burning stuff, and the robots are trying their best to keep the peace.
Hmm.
If it's Mr. House, there's a lot more merchants walking around the wasteland, and if you talk to some of them, they'll mention how they're booming rich now. And if you go
Hmm.
to Hoover
See,
Dam, it's overtaken by Mr. House's robots.
I do like siding with, like if I were to play Fallout New Vegas again, I would side with Mr. House because I do enjoy the thought of capitalism.
Yeah.
Capitalism is good, all right? Okay, communism is a minor setback on the road to capitalism. Remember that.
Okay.
And an alternative to communism is death, according to Assaultrons.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember like they have a lot of
Yeah.
that like red
Mhm.
what's it called, like the Red Scare dialogue.
Yeah, they're like
But
what was it? A appropriate alternative to communism is death or something, or death is an appropriate alternative to communism.
oh wow. But I also, if you win with the NCRs, more of the content is like in Vegas, you'll see various NCR flags hanging up, and
Uh,
they turn the
uh
Lucky 38 into a laboratory, and the robots at the strip will say, "Welcome to Vegas, the fifth state of the NCR."
I see.
And if Caesar's Legion takes it over, the whole place is just destroyed, and the robots will say, "Always true to Kaiser."
No, no way. They reprogrammed the robots to say Kaiser.
Yeah, and
Or true to
also
Hail Kaiser.
various random NPCs will have slave collars on as well,
Mm.
and like legionnaires will watch over towns and stuff like that. Interesting.
Well, that makes sense. Well, anyways, do you think that's a good stopping point? I think we've been doing this for what, an hour and a half? Something like that?
Yeah, almost an hour and a half. It's kind of funny because we started off. I wanted to do retail stories, and it devolved into Fallout discussion.
Mm.
I'll call this episode Wall Out.
Wall out.
That's a good name.
I
I guess
guess
that
it yeah, makes sense.
our podcast is like a big wild card. I must say,
Mm.
it's so all
Plus,
over the damn
I don't
place.
have that many stories to
Yeah,
share about my
exactly.
retail, to
That's
be
fine enough.
honest.
But I do have a potential guest lined up for the next episode, so look forward to
All right.
that. I'll tell you about him later. But
Yeah, tell me about him. Tell me about him in the DMs.
yes, yes, of course, or when I'm done recording or whatever. But
Mm.
with that being said, thank you for listening, the folks out there, the two of you listening. This has been Bergnut and his servant sidekick
Me.
man Goose,
Yes, me, Goose.
and
We
we'll see you next time. Have a good
yeah.
day. Goodbye.
Later.